Hey there, Dustin Zarni here. It's Commissioner in a Car time. Today is Wednesday, and it is June 30th, the last day of June, and this is a special Commissioner in a Car. I timed it so we could have it after the absentee ballot count that happened yesterday, and so we know what's going on with the primary elections. Well, they are almost all done. We're still working on some stuff here in the office to certify. We hope to have that done by Friday. But what we have done now is we've already had our absentee ballot opening and scanning. The unofficial results are on onvote.net, along with our unofficial election night results. And we're merging those together to bring you the certified results, which we hope to have by Friday. That being said, we do know who has won all the races, and what races have to go to a hand recount. On the Democratic side, Khalid Bey is the apparent winner of the Democratic mayoral primary. We have counted all the absentee ballots. It looks like he has avoided a hand recount of all of the city Democrats ballots. He won by about 34 votes. That could change, as we certify our results by 1 or 2. But in any case, it is all done. He has won that election, and Michael Green, a gentleman as always, has conceded the election. On the Councilor at Large race, Rashida Caldwell and Amir Gathers kept their election night lead and won and through the absentee ballot. And also Twiggy Blue and Karen Cordano and Nayatwood Bullock kept their election night leads for Commissioner of Education inside the city of Syracuse. So those are the apparent winners on the Democratic side. And there was a Republican town council race out in Pompey that came down to the absentee ballots, and I'll be honest, it's gone out of my head. I don't know who won that election, but it was the absentee ballots that came in were pretty lopsided, so lopsided that even though the second and third place was tied on election night, the winner now won by about 44 votes, which avoids a recount there. We still do have to do a hand recount of 3 different races. That's the county ledge for the Working Families Party. Jana Rogers, the Democrat and endorsed candidate, won that race 4-1 on election night. There were no absentee ballots. However, and since it is within 20 votes, we actually have to hand recount that. I know, it's only 5 ballots. We're going to do that on Thursday, because that's when we notice the candidates, when we're going to do these things. So we're going to do it on Thursday, and that race will be done. The same with the Salina Town Justice. It looks like Andy Perino also won that race. The Democratic endorsed candidate and endorsed candidate for the Working Families Party won that race out in Salina as well. Again, no absentee ballots that came in, but because it's within, I think it's 5-1 there, because it's within 20 votes, we have to do a hand recount. And then the Manlius Conservative Judges race. This is the town justice there. The Conservatives endorsed the Democratic candidate, David Rothschild. Jim Hughes ran a Conservative primary against him. It looks like Jim Hughes won by about 18 votes. He was up by 6 on election night, and they got 12 more votes in the absentees. But again, it's within those 20 votes, so we have to do a hand recount of all those. Those 3 things will be done on Thursday, and we anticipate certifying our election on Friday. So we are pretty clear that this is going to, that we're going to be able to get this done on Friday and be certified. Of course, July 7th is July 6th is our deadline to certify, which is the Tuesday after July 4th. There, as I said, there's a couple ballots that are out there for the cure that could come in, and things like that could change. but we're not really expecting a lot to change here. Definitely nothing that would change the results. And we're looking forward to putting the primary to bed and moving on to the November election. It looks like, and I'm sorry, Charles Garland of the County Ledge 16th also won. He kept his election night lead, and it actually increased it by 5 during the absentee ballots. The mayoral primary was very close, within 3 votes of going to a hand recount. It was 34 votes between them. A lot is going to be made about how close that race was, but I'm really happy, and kudos to both of the mayoral candidates there for keeping a positive race going, and Michael Green, true to his word, and Khalid Bey promised this as well, but true to his word, he lost the race, and he's already endorsed Khalid Bey. So Democrats are going to get united behind Khalid Bey for mayor. It's going to be an interesting race. Obviously, Ben Walsh, the incumbent, is got to be seen as the front runner. But it's a long way till November, and with a 3-way race, and a woman running, an African American running, and an incumbent running, this is something that Syracuse hasn't ever seen before at the general election. So I think we're going to have to, see how this race plays out come, this November. And I think there's going to be a lot of campaigning and a lot of debates. And I, for one, don't believe that any race is over until it's done. So I don't believe there's any reason to believe that Khalid Bey can't win the Democratic mayoral primary. With a city that is 4-1, 5-1 Democrat. So we will see how this plays out. I hope to have Khalid on my Zoom with Zarni podcast sometime soon, as well as the other Syracuse primary winners over the month of August. We'll be working on getting that done as well. Speaking of my Zoom with Zarni podcast, it may not be airing this week again. I had some technical issues that prevented my interview with Audrey Klein of National Vote at Home. We're going to probably have to do that at a later date, and since we're going to do it at a later date, it'll air at some other time. But so I probably won't have a Zoom with Zarni again this week. But sometime this week, my Wonky Wednesday was also delayed because of the primary and my work here at the Board of Elections. But I'll be starting my series on County Ledge seats, and also a wrap-up of the election and the data that goes with that. I'm not sure which one's going to do this week. I plan on doing County Ledge, but I might be doing the wrap-up of the election now that it looks like we're certifying that results and we're ready to go. That might come out Thursday or Friday. So, again, sorry it's been a little delayed, but, good things come to those who wait. I can't tell David Harding what to do about the like button, Michael. David's very enthusiastic. He's one of my good friends and a good worker at the County Board of Elections. He's not on time right now. He's only a seasonal worker. So I don't see really any questions in the chat. I will mention one thing. Yesterday, the New York City Board of Elections, had a hiccup with their tabulation of the ranked choice voting. And I don't know. I don't work for the New York City Board. I am the Democratic chair of the caucus, and it is an honor, and New York City Board is part of my caucus, but I don't run any other board besides the Onondaga County Board. So I don't know exactly what's going on with the New York City board. But I do want to say one thing. The New York City Board of Elections on Twitter and on their social media admitted the mistake, are fixing the mistake, and are working towards that fix today. Mistakes happen with boards of elections. I put out a statement today kind of detailing my thoughts a little bit more clear than I'm probably going to do right now. But mistakes happen. Any system that is run by human is going to have some mistake happen at some point. The most important thing is to be transparent about the mistake, come up with a plan to fix it, and fix the mistake. And it looks like at least the first two steps are being done with the Board of Elections in New York City with their ranked choice votes, and I believe the third step will as well. And it's also most important to remember that we have ballots that are hand marked and kept. So there is no data that has been lost here. As far as I can tell, there's no data that is lost in the system down there. They should be able to fix this. And again, remember, it was just unofficial results that were reported, not even the final results. And it doesn't really fix, it doesn't really hurt anything that's going on besides our need for instant gratification of election results. And I understand that need. It's an important thing. It's something that I work towards here at the Onondaga County Board of Elections as well. But again, it's more important to get it right than it is to get it done quickly. And so New York City voters are just going to have to wait for their absentee ballots to be counted to know who won their primary elections. And that will take to the middle of July at least. That's what the Board of Elections timeline is. And I trust them to come up with the correct result along the way and learn from this. So, and while any system can be reformed and any system can be improved, you can't just throw out the baby with the bathwater because of a few mistakes, and a few mistakes at one board doesn't mean there's mistakes at every board. So, but I say it much better on my statement that I put out today on my Facebook page. So I hope that you have a wonderful holiday weekend. I'm looking forward to a wonderful holiday weekend as well. And I just can't thank the staff at the Board of Elections at Onondaga County enough. They helped us run an incredibly well run election with very few hiccups, and there for the grace of God go us. But we are, I'm very proud of the work that we did this primary. And I'm looking forward to even improving on that for the November election. All right. I'll see you later next week. Bye-bye.